What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Ham Radio Crash Course. Welcome to Saturday. Today is a Patron Picks episode. That's right, back-to-back Patron Picks as I'm catching up on everything I've been lacking on. But we're back to the beginning of the month, and we're talking about Meshtastic BBS. Yes, this was voted by the patrons, so if you don't like it, well, I guess you just got to join up yourself and you vote too. Anyway, we'll get started real soon. Enjoy the memes. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Josh, KI6NAZ. So today we are talking about Meshtastic BBS, and so for the Utes in the house tonight, a BBS is a bulletin board system. In fact, it has a very rich legacy in amateur radio where you would take two stations and you'd take one and connect it to the other one, and it was running a bulletin board system, and you could leave messages for other hams. If you're very old, like I am, there was a time where the internet was primarily bulletin board stations, and you would use your modem to dial in to the bulletin board system, and you would communicate with people via the BBS. And there were different versions of it, but it's most rudimentary as a series of mailboxes that you could leave messages. And the comms channel here on YouTube, the link is in the video description, created a BBS system. Now, what was it, last year? Last year, Pacificon, about this time last year, there was a dude that I interviewed with the big Meshtastic box, and everybody was like, I don't understand 85% of what's all in that box. Well, one of the things they were running was a Meshtastic BBS, and there was also somebody else, I believe that's the right one, because there was also somebody else we bumped into at a Hamfest that was running a portable Meshtastic BBS that they had on a backpack, and they were just kind of rolling around, and you could leave messages. So that way you could just send messages for people. Now, I appreciate that Meshtastic now does things called store and forwarding, which is similar, but this is such an easy project. I think I knocked this out in maybe an hour or two, and I could probably 3D print a case, and I could mount it on a board a little bit more permanently and affix it to something in my shack and just kind of leave it, because this was pretty painless. I'm going to go ahead and show off kind of it working right now, and then I'm going to show you how to set it up. And I've got I almost feel like Julia Child. I have a completed thing here, and then in the oven, we have another one we're baking right now, so if I screw this up, we should be good. That's how much time I had. I actually could do two of these things. So it's it's pretty cool. All in all, big fan. Comm Channel kicked it out of the park, but we'll talk about that in a second. Hey, go check out hamtactical.com if you want some merch from our merch store that my wife runs. My wife is the co-host on our podcast, and so a lot of the stuff you see here is stuff that came from the podcast and stuff that came from the live stream. So go check it out at hamtactical.com. A couple of things to note. You will need to flash a Meshtastic. A lot of folks are using the Heltec V3s because they've probably got 8 of them kicking around somewhere, so you don't have to buy them. These things are like $20. I do have links in the video description to what you might want, but you generally need a Heltec V3 and a like a Raspberry Pi of some kind. It doesn't even have to be like a 0, although I'm using a 0. We're actually going to demonstrate it on a 3, but if you have a 4, that is way overkill. The 0 runs this whole thing perfectly. So if you got like a little $20 0 kicking around, use that. And let's see. Yeah, Raspberry Pi, we'll talk about that in a second on what you need to download. But this is the link to the comms channel's GitHub. I think I dropped that, but if not, I will do that now. There's also a video link to his channel where he talks about this and has kind of a tutorial, but you know, it's a little bit extended. Now, there is something else he came up with recently, about a month or two ago, I believe. He now has an APRS BBS. Yeah, right there, APRS BBS and mail system. So the two things he's got up and running. So we may do another video for that in the future. If you guys want me to see me talk about that stuff, you know, leave a comment in this video below and I may check it out. To be honest, I'm not sure how I feel about an APRS BBS, but I guess that's exactly what Packet is for. Packet AX25 which is the backbone of APRS, is actually exactly what you use for packet radio and what was used for BBSs. So it's of course it's all related. My buddy Jason Cam4ACK actually did a really good video on this as well for 4 months ago. He did it in 20 minutes or so. It's that easy. It's going to take you a little bit longer. It's going to take us a little bit longer because I think, I haven't logged into that Pi yet. So that's going to be a little bit of a problem. We'll fool around with that. In fact, why don't I get you set up? I'll show you what this does, and then we'll show you how to flash an image, and then we'll do the app get update, and then go through that because that can take a long time. On a 3, it won't be that bad, but all right. So let's take a look at this whole thing. What is this? Well, so that's a Pi Zero, and across from it in that little black and blue case is a Heltec V3. There it is. That's the whole thing running. Very simple. But what you do with this is if you pull up this node, which I'll show you on my little Lily Go here. Let's show you. So if I pull up this node, let's get you all in there. So it's HRCC BBS. And by the way, if you're somewhat local to me or can hit me on my APRS, my Meshtastic, then you can hit this BBS. It's live right now, and it should be going through my solar node, which is high up on my roof. So it should be good to go. But if I just hit and send a question mark, so let's send a question mark. This guy should get it. Maybe. Yeah. So then it sends me back these little comments like quick commands, BBS Utilities, and exit because back out. But let's go to B. So it's in the brackets. We'll go in the BBS first. Yeah. So with the BBS, you can do mail, bulletins, channel directory, and JSA call. What's that? Well, by the way, if you're on JSA call right now and you leave a bulletin message to @HRCC, our unofficial group on JSA call, it will show up on this. We can query those. That's right, over the Meshtastic system. So go ahead and do that now. If you are on JSA call, we'll check in at the end of the video. But let's go to mail. And so I'll hit OK. All right, so what do I want to do? Well, I want to read. Let's go to read. I don't think I have any messages here, but we'll play around with that in a second. There are no messages. Well, shoot. Okay, let's go to send. Cool. So we're going to do, we got to go back to BBS. After it broke through the pathing. So we're going to go to mail. Live BBSing is fascinating. S for send. What is the short name of the node? HRCC. Let's see if he sees me. There are multiple nodes. Which one would you like to leave a message for? HRCC Solar, Low Mesh. Let's go. Oh, let's go with 4, the UConsole, of course. Whoop. No, don't do that. I think Josh has too many Meshtastics running. What is the subject? Test. Of course it is. Send your message. You can send multiple messages. If it's too long, send a message. What does that say? Send your message. You can send it in multiple messages if it's too long. Send a message with end. Okay, so test. And we'll send the number 1. So that's like the first round, right? That's the first part of the message. And I'm gonna wrap it with that. So I'm gonna hit end. And then we should be pretty much done there. Okay. So it's been posted to my inbox on my UConsole. So here's my UConsole, which maybe we'll talk about that in the after chat. A series of RF devices that are running on this UConsole right now. But let's dive into this. So I'm going to go over to, nope, that's right. This is not a touchscreen. Downside of the UConsole. And so now if I do BBS, okay, we want to go to mail. I don't know why the keyboard it doesn't like the enter key. Okay, we're gonna go to read. Oh, this is not effective to do. Oop, there we go. Read. I have one message. Cool. And there it is. It dropped me the message right there. All right. Now, that's directed, right? So that's a directed What? What do you want? Get out of here. That's a directed message to me, right, from my BBS. So you could leave that to other folks that are in your mesh area if you just want like a little private message off to them. You can do bulletins too, which are nice. And the bulletins are actually broken up in like news, general, and urgent. And an integration with JSA call can actually break down whether it's like an urgent message or, a bunch of other stuff too. So really, really cool. Like, I think this is kind of a fun thing. It's new technology. It's old technology. You can go back and watch probably 4 or 5 years ago when I had a BBS set up on, actually, is my Alinco, the Alinco that we use for the All-Star video. I had that running on a packet frequency, and I was having a great time with it. In fact, this makes me all want to set that back up. It takes a little bit longer to set up than this does, though. This is very, very easy. So what we're going to do is I'm going to now take you back over here. We're going to talk a little bit about the Raspberry Pis. First, though, I need to get into my new Raspberry Pi that I have set up here. Let's see if I can find it. That is definitely it. So I am using something called Putty. That's above my head here. That is what's running right now. This is the SSH'd into my little Pi Zero. I'm going to close this down, though. I'm going to disconnect it because we are going to connect to a different one. So I'm just going to bring this guy down. There we go. Okay, so it's paused. I'm going to close it. And we're going to bring up another Putty window here. And I have now a new Raspberry Pi. So let me load this guy in. But he's now actually 16 is the new one. So I'm going to make this guy 3. And I'm going to save it. So let's see if we can get into it. Or not. Oh, poopy. Live Raspberry Pi workings is never what you want to be doing. Are you running, dog? Yeah, it's running. Okay, so timed out. We're going to restart. Little Raspberry Pi jank. Wait for that to come online. While that's doing its thing, we'll talk a little bit more about this. So the idea with this is that you can have these little small mailboxes running on your Raspberry Pi, but also use it as kind of a hub for people to get information from. And I mentioned that it will pull in JSA call. So how that works, which I'll show you in a little bit, it's actually pulling off of whichever computer is on the same network as your Raspberry Pi. So if you have a computer that's actually using JSA call and receiving things from like whichever group you're a part of, you can pipe that via this application, the BBS application, to it's basically bulletins for the BBS. I think we might have one or two. We may have to do that while we're waiting for our device to come back online. Let's see where we're at. Let's see if we got it. Got it. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to log in as Bro. That's too soon. Not yet. Cool. All right. So before we do anything, we're just going to do a sudo apt update. And that's going to go off and just update the whole thing. So while that's screwing around, I'm going to talk a little bit about operating systems. So when you're going and setting up your Raspberry Pi for the first time, it could generally be anything, right? So if you know how to do Raspberry Pi stuff and you just want to get up in the air, you don't need a special image. I just grabbed whichever the most recent Pi 3 image was for this Pi that was just kicking around and threw it on there. With that said, if you scroll down here and you go with the light version, there is a where is the lights? Did I go past it? Hold on. 32. This is it. Yeah. So this guy. So the little Pi Zero runs on like 32-bit, and light means that it won't have a desktop. It just has SSH. It's just a terminal app. Now, this is actually a really cool little project to do if you're not familiar with really Raspberry Pis or Linux or anything like that, because it's really, really easy. So we are going to go back over here. Nope. There it is. And we're going to do a sudo. I did it again. There we go. Sudo. Hello. Uh-oh, we lost it. Oh, somebody messaged. All right, let's do this again. We lost the putty. Oh, we proper lost it. Like, it died. Okay, we're going to pull the plug on it again. There we go. Now, once you have downloaded your version, so if you have picked the Lite or you're doing a Raspberry Pi 3, there is another way you can do it too, which I'll show you here. The Raspberry Pi Imager is ultimately where you're going to end up. So if you click on Raspberry Pi 3, or maybe you get the Pi 2.0, you can go in here and say, oh, I want the 32-bit Raspberry Pi OS. But this is going to give you desktop, which you don't really want that with this case. So you can go to Other, and if you go to 32-bit, whoa, going back now. That was too fast. 30 Raspberry Pi OS 32 Lite. So if you click that guy and point it at a SD card, in fact, let me throw one in here so I can show you the settings. I'm going to drag this off camera for a second, because I think it's got some hidden secrets. Yeah, so there you go. So when you go through the setup process, it'll ask you, hey, do you want to do some initial setup? And yes, you want to give it a name for your host name when you show up on the network. Use Pi as the username. Set the password to whatever you want. You want to set your Wi-Fi, because that's what you're going to use for connection. And then make sure that you're identifying the time zone as whichever you're in and your wireless LAN as US. Under services, make sure you enable SSH, and that should give you the ability to do what we need to do when it works here. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of that for a second, bring that back up here. Now let's see, did we get our boy back? Putty is right here. I'll show you how to set that up once we get it going. And it's back. Okay, good. Jeez. And okay. I don't know that it went through and did the things that it was supposed to do. I'm going to assume it didn't. But let's pull up the comms channels how-to here. Where are you? Where are you? There we go. And let's look at it this way. All right, so there is instructions here. It's very straightforward. I found it very straightforward. You tell me. But I dropped the link. If you scroll down here, these are the steps you need to perform. So sudo apt update, sudo apt upgrade. I think I did the update, so we're just going to do I should probably check again, though. I think it did, but we're going to check it regardless. Great. Sudo apt. Went a little dyslexic there. Upgrade. Now, what's that's doing? It's just a software update, basically. Yes, continue. All Meshtastic is LoRa, but not all LoRa is Meshtastic, if that makes sense. So no, this is Meshtastic, specifically Meshtastic. Yeah, and so if you do at Ham Radio Crash Course with your questions, I will take them as we go through this. Oh, there's a lot of people in the chat. Hey, thanks so much. There's a ton of people. Oh my God. Okay. I started at 20. There you go, 2400. Yep. We got some 2400 baud folks in the house. That's like old school. That's legit. Looks like somebody sent a message too on the JSA call. Make sure you're doing at HRCC. Remember, at HRCC, and it'll show up in the system. Oh, it won't show up in the system because we turned it off. Okay, hold on. Hold that. Hold that. Hang on to that because we got to get one up and running. In fact, I may bring up a second putty just to... Yeah. Okay, now you can send it. Now send all the JSA calls because we are still loading that. Cut my hat off, too. Give me a little space here, bud. So what this is doing, again, is it's updating the Raspberry Pi. So we downloaded the updates, and now it's doing the upgrade, which can take a little bit of time. I was hoping to get this done before the live stream, but we got wrapped up with some other stuff. What can we do in the meantime? Flash your Heltex, your nodes, and very quickly, the only thing you have to do is make sure that you set... Uh-oh. Which one crashed? This guy crashed. It just said inactive. Is that for real? Am I going to have a live on-the-air Raspberry Pi failure? Bro. What is happening here? I was literally using this guy all last night, and it was super stable. That's hilarious when the Raspberry Pi Lite is going to be the one that survives. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Let's see if we got it. So this is the BBS that's running on the Lite that we started with. But we want to get that other one up and running. Okay, there we go. Gotta love it. Now... There we go. Will it remember the command? It didn't. Oh, this is fully... Ooh, chat. We might have a problem. Okay. Yeah, we might have to do the old kinetic fixing because... That's ridiculous. Oh, did it? No, it's still pretty quick. Anyway, this is the full Raspberry Pi OS on this, so it may be a little bit slower than doing the Lite. The Lite is pretty slow, though, performance-wise, so I could see going either way. Like, if you don't have a Lite, Lites are pretty cool, but if you got a Raspberry Pi kicking around, you might as well just do this with that because it's a Raspberry Pi. Who cares? They're not that special. But looking at the rest of the instructions, which we'll go to next, this is pretty straightforward. So you just do an install of Git, and you're going to clone this repository to your actual Raspberry Pi, and then we're going to do some quick setup. While we're doing that, I'm going to show you, might as well show you how to set up a JSA call. And what that does, what this is going to do, it's going to allow JSA call to pass data out of the software and into the Raspberry Pi. So how you do that is you bring up the settings. File, settings. And let's zoom that in a little bit here. There you go. And then under reporting. So there's an API. It's right here. If you click on that and hold on, there we go. If you click on that API and enable it, you can then go ahead and do the next step, which will allow you to send or allow connections to your radio. Why is this not? There we go. So in my case, I have checked the box, and I've also enabled this TCP server. Now, you will have to provide the IP address for your local computer that's running JSA call, and then you want to hit Enable TCP API and accept TCP connections. I put 5, doesn't matter. Leave the default port at 2442, and then hit OK. So what that's going to do is everybody who sends at HRCC, I'll show you how to set it up, it's going to push all of that to the BBS, which can be really helpful for, again, for a bulletin standpoint. So back to Putty. Hey, we're done. All right, so the next thing now is we need to do sudo. What's going on? It crashed again? Bro. Bro. Okay. Got one thing to try here. Otherwise, Raspberry Pi might be dying. Because I'm not using the GPIO pins. What do you mean? Why would that matter, Don? Hey, there it is. Will it last? Are we taking bets in the chat? Remember to use Pi because that's what the app uses for the BBS. I don't know that it got it. So sudo apt install git. Let's see. Okay, got it. Okay, cool. CD to the home directory, and we are just going to copy this. I do this one line at a time. I think it'll do them all at once, but whatever. So we're cloning. Now we're cloning the Git repository. It did it. And so we're going to CD over to the TC mesh. If you double hit tab really fast, it'll pull it over. And then we are going to do Python. So I'm literally clicking this little environment Python thing, pasting it. So it's going to load a virtual environment right now. That's what that command does. And it should take a minute or so as it's building it. Yep. That's what I think happened is its power. Which is odd because it's a really good. I swear the Raspberry Pi 3 and the early 4s were really, really finicky. Okay, so we now have an environment built. I'm going to get the next one, which is, we're going to skip over this Windows one because we're on Linux. We're going to go to source a virtual environment. Oh, what happened there? There we go. Source, activate. So you can see V environment above my head. We're in the virtual environment. So we've now activated it. I'm going to copy the next one, which is pip install requirements.txt, and it's going to do its thing. Okay. And then we're going to move. So we're going to copy. It's basically copying the example config.ini into config.ini. That's what MV is, move. It did it. And then you open up like any kind of editor, text editor. So we're going to use Nano. And it's going to be config.ini. This is the configuration screen. So I'm going to scroll down here because they do give some information. I'm going to take the simple way out of this by just leaving the interface as serial. I'm not going to identify a specific port because you may move your device from one port to the other, and whatever. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to leave that as type serial. It'll just grab whichever the one is you want. That's what I'm doing. Under node sync list, now I hypothetically need to sync now because I am going to have 2 nodes, but I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to get you guys up and running, and we'll do the sync stuff probably in another video or in the after chat. If you want to join us in the after chat, please do. It will be a live stream right after this one. I'm leaving the menu items the same: quick commands, BBS, utilities, and exit. And then I'm also going to leave the JS8 call one there because I want that, and all the other ones to save. Now, for JS8 settings, hashtags are comments. So if you remove the comment for JS8, you see that it turned green. Under host, we're going to drop that too. And mine is, I believe, 1112. Let me double check that. It is 1112. That's the computer that's running JS8. Port is the same. We're going to just open up all this, and we're going to say this to false. And the groups now, I don't need all these groups. Oops. Great. I don't remember what that was. And I just stepped on it. Nope, exit. No. Do over. Okay. All right, so for groups, I only want HRCC. Store messages. And urgent, fine. Now, you're going to hit Control-S to save, and then Control-X. And that's the whole configuration. That was it. That's all you have to do. Now, I'm going to grab another node here. So let's go back to this side. I just happen to have another Heltec kicking around. This one should work. Should being the optimal word here. We're just going to plug it into my... something like that. Good enough. And then we're going to continue down the path here. So we're going to scroll past. We're going to run the server. Oh, are we ready to run the server? Pip install requirements, myconfig.ini. We did that. My gosh, I think we are ready. So I'm going to copy this, and let's see. It's running. And it is pulling JS8 because we did that setup for configuration. And with the Heltec plugged in, that's it. It's done. That's it. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. That's all there is. So I will need to cross-link these 2 nodes, but I'm not going to try and do that. I guess I could do it live. We could do it live. Somebody send a... Did somebody do an @HRCC on HF? Sorry, 20 meters. Yeah, it took 34 minutes, and there was a bunch of screw-ups, too. That deserves a beer. I'm going to get one. Be right back. That was pretty simple. That was very simple, Jody. Yeah, I agree. Is there nobody on? Oh, look. No, yeah, you got to say @HRCC. Oh, yeah. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. You're close. You're close. You're close. But you need to do an @HRCC, and then we can check it to see. Because hypothetically now, right, remember what this is doing. This is all dorking around in the ham shack. And yeah, I got my, the beer fridge is in the shack. There's a beer fridge in the shack, guys. That's how I reward myself for doing a good job. You can be kind of anywhere around town, and you can broker your communication through the mesh. So you will jump through other nodes to get back to your home node, and then you can check into your BBS. Like pocket size. So you're carrying around your little, T deck, the little T deck that I was just showing, and I can get back into the whole thing, and like boom, I got remote communication. Uh-oh. It died. Hold on, did it die? Timeout error. Connection timed out. Oop. Was it because we had two servers? I bet that's why. I'm just going to leave this one off then. That's fine. We're just going to kill this guy. I think it's just going to time out. That's fine. We'll use the other guy. Yeah, this one. So what we're looking for here is if you do an @HRCC in this middle chat, just something like test, then everybody who has it loaded. By the way, wait, you mean you're not following along the whole legacy of videos here? Let me show you. If you go to File, Settings, let's bring up the Settings window. And then in your groups, make sure you got HRCC. I don't know why I have COVID-19 still in there, but don't need that anymore. And there you go. And we're transmitting. So I have had no problems running off the light. I simply run it. It's been running for, well, I haven't had it that long, but running over a day. What you do need to do, and that is something. Let's see how much time we have. Probably not enough to get into that, but there is instructions on setting it up for a boot, an automatic run on boot, which you will want to do in this case because there's like 2 or 3 commands you have to you have to send on after you boot it up and SSH into it. And I would much prefer that the light would just be form function specific on this, and it does the thing, and that's all there is to it. So I will probably, let's see, first edit the mesh BBS service file using the 3 following items are what you need. Oh, that's not that difficult. Oh, yeah, okay. A little more than I want to do on the live stream, but anyway, there you go. Let's see, did we get I'm just not hearing anybody. Could be what's happening. How's the Oh, wait. Is that No, that's not HRCC. Oh yeah, Digital Rancher was running these too at the shows. Yeah, exactly. The system D process. Yeah, the BBS for APRS is probably like these two topics are like kryptonite for Mike. He showed up briefly in the stream, but I don't know if he stuck around. Can't tell for sure, but let's go back to the screen here and see. Let's go back over to the overhead desk. What the heck? We'll just check and see if if the bulletin made it or not. Any of them made it. I don't think I can key my own in the list, so unsure. We're gonna go to BBS, and we're gonna go to JSA call. Group messages. Aw, no messages. Wait, no. Let's see. Any station messages? I turned off station messages because I didn't want to blow this thing up, but maybe we'll turn them on. No station messages. Let me show you how to turn those on, and then we'll have a little bit of fun with that. Okay, let me show you how to do this. This is actually pretty easy. So we'll go back to Putty here, and we're going to do Control-C to turn off the service, and we're going to go back to I'm just hitting up arrow to cycle through past commands. There it is, nano config.ini. So configuration file. Scroll down to JS8 call. Yeah, there we go. Store messages, we're going to say true. And we're going to hit Control-S to save, Control-X to exit, and then we're going to do Python server run again. And we're running now. So we just modified the configuration file, so now we're rerunning it. And of course, while we're doing that, somebody is sending HRCC. It was WE8 what? Now you can see above my head it says JS8 info database tables created or verified, info connecting to, and then it's in the process of connecting to 2442, which is the port number for that local device, which is running JS8 call. You can do this. You can do this on 2 meters. You just need a radio that can do a single sideband and can do JS8 call. So like with a ICOM 705, you could do JS8 call with that, and it would update here, and it would push to the BBS. Now, the BBS doesn't push back into ham radio. You would have to go with like the APRS BBS that we were talking about earlier. It's just a group. It's just another group. That's just a stock urgent group. If you want to change that, you can make it whatever you want. So you could do HRCC urgent. I don't have that configured, though. But just somebody send HRCC so we can see it, because apparently I can't key it myself. Yeah, you can do it. Jody, obviously, with the jokes today. Yes, you can in fact do that if you so desired. You mean to tell me nobody is using the worldwide phenomena application JS8 call? How dare you? How dare you? Let's see, did I actually get messages? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. VE5RJK. Love the HRCC on YouTube. Thanks for doing it. Man, hit me back with the @HRCC in the group. Just oh wait, somebody's doing it. W5MYR. Where are you at? Let's see it. Let's see if it gets it. And we got a test. Did it pick it up, though? I don't know that it did. We would expect to see it on the server. It should have picked it up. Unsure that it did. Uh-oh, kids. I may need to set up 2 HF stations and transmit from one to the other to test this. Checking email via CW. That's like the ultimate Chad ham radio operator. I don't think it got it. So did we screw that up? I don't think so. I don't think we screwed that up. Let's see. What do we need to do? Well, I'll wait for you guys to do another @HRCC. Go ahead, just send a couple of them. It's fine. It's free. Ham radio is free. Go for it. While we're doing that, let's go through some of the other settings. All right. So with my little, I like this guy. This is the newer T deck. But it's touchscreen, so you it draws in fingerprints pretty badly. Uh-oh. There we go. So go back to messages, BBS. So we're going to go back to exit, go back to the main screen here. Okay. Let's go to utilities. We have stats. Let's see, nodes, hardware, roles. Let's go to nodes. All time, we've seen 200 nodes, about 186 in the last 24 hours. Pretty cool. What is roles? I actually don't know what that is. I haven't pulled up that menu option. Well, bro, I didn't even get to see it. Oh, that's the roles of the different stations. Okay. So let's go up a level. Exit. I guess it takes you all the way back up to the top. And yes, this is what packet BBSs were like. You had to like click something, go down, click something, go down, click something, go down. And you'd send a command and you'd work through the whole thing. So what's fortune? Let's see what the fortunes are. A lack of leadership is no substitute for inaction. Damn, that's good. That's real good. I like it. Oh, wait. We might have gotten something from the JS8. We'll check that in a second. Okay. Is that it? This is kind of fun. There is a utility for Wall of Shame, and that's like low batteries. I don't quite understand why that would be a wall of shame, but... Oh, Sheepdog Sean's getting called out, man. What's going on, Sheepdog Sean? You got 17% battery, dog. You can't be defending them sheeps with a 17% battery. Disgusting. All right, I don't know. I see somebody through, and okay, there's a couple of at HRCCs in there. So I am going to try the JSA call. Here we go. We're going to go BBS. And we're going to go to JSA call. Group messages. No! How about station messages? Oh. Okay. Urgent. I have a feeling it's not picking it up then. We've got a problem. So, how do we want to fix this? I think I know what to do. So I'm going to stop this guy. There you go, keyboard interrupt. And I'm going to end JSA call. And we're going to rerun JSA call. I think the other, the two dueling BBSs got in the way. So I'm actually going to disconnect the other guy for now. So we've got this guy going. Let's go back over to here and here's sick with the following BBS nodes. No, okay. Nodes with urgent board permissions. No. JSA call. Looks like good. Database schema is good. Did I press star? What does that mean? I'll trade you, Geekiest Guy. You want to trade the silver top for the black top? I'll trade you. Then you can have a black bottom or whatever with a silver top. That'd be cool. Oh, what happened? Home pie. Receiver or group is not defined. I haven't seen this before. Interesting. So let me do this. I have a feeling it doesn't like that one group. Maybe. So let's do HRCC _ urgent. And then we're going to go up here. Settings. Get off of there. And we're going to add HRCC urgent _ urgent. You got to put the @ in there, dog. Is not a valid group. Why? It's too big? Okay, HRCC crit is also not a valid group. Okay, HRCC crit, all one word, like crit damage. All right, so I've changed it there. We're going to save it off and exit. Yes, I hit save already. Okay. Yeah, get me out of here. Yes. Jesus. See if that's better. A Panda UConsole. Now we're talking. It doesn't have a dice roll function. Comms Prepper, you got to get on that. That's like some old school stuff. Yeah, dude. They got to do that. Error PC load letter. No. Send that again, somebody. Oh, dude. All the HRCC that are coming in right now is fantastic. Come on. We need to make this work. Why are they not working? I want to see this. I want to see this work. Okay, so we got all this set up. It's on 12. Okay, 50. Yeah. Can I? Let's see. Let's see if I can shoot a shooter. So if I send this, it should. Hopefully, it's working. Let's see. Okay, so that is working. But it doesn't seem to be connecting over the port. Dude, your comments are all hilarious, and it's not connecting, and it's bugging me. They're so good. Look at these. Not sure we can hack the Gibson. Control, delete BBS. Dude. These are so good. I don't think it's working, dude. I don't think it's working. But why though? Why though? We followed the directions. I love doing these things live. I had it all connected and it didn't complain, but also I didn't have the second radio set up, so I couldn't test it. Let's see. Does it give us any serial running? Yeah, it doesn't give us a lot of details, other than it is in the comments for the thing. So let's break out of this again. Nano. Let's read through this real good like. So, if you'd like the message JSA to go into the host, the IP address for your system running JSA call port is the TCP port of JSA call default. I'm using the default. Default, this can be left at default, yeah, JSA call DB, okay? JSA groups, the groups we're interested in, restore, interested in, store messages, true, we'll store messages. Boy, it got cut off. Oh my God. Yeah, don't word wrap or anything, guys. Unless needs to be some reason, or the groups you're interested in receiving. Store messages true. We'll send the messages that aren't part. This can be noisy, false. We'll ignore the messages. JSA urgent. The JSA groups you consider to be. Oh, do I have to resend the build? Oh. Oh, maybe. Hold on. Saved it. Get out of there. Do I have to redo? So source.activate. Do I have to reactivate? So let's disconnect. What? We're literally on Python here. Why would I have to redo that? That just activates the virtual. No, that should be it. Unless the ports are not. No, but I've got other things that are shareable over the network, so there's no way that's it. Hey, the Gray Man Poda is a channel supporter for 25 months. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. So yeah, it doesn't look like it's picking them up because we should see. We set it to true. The you just type deactivate. Let's just do that. Let's try that. Okay. Let's sudo reboot. Yeah. That's the way I fix things with Raspberry Pis, man. That's how I do it. No, but I got other things that are connected to it. Disable Windows. It's already disconnected. All that's disconnected. I don't let Windows Firewall run. Not in my house. Not in my house. Unacceptable. Oh my god, all of the holy smokes, dude. The geekiest guy dropping the 25 months. Andy with the 55 months. Not to be, we got like the veterans in the chat. Jody with 55 months. Dawn, 55 months. And he was a BBS system operator since 1985 and a Patreon support. Holy smokes, man. That's amazing. Thank you, buddy. Dude, yeah, I know you'd be all over this, Don, because this is like, it's really, it's BBS, man. That is some BBSing going on. All right, we're back in. We're back in. Oh, you guys didn't know I hack? Oh yeah, we didn't tell you he hacks? Every movie everywhere that features hacking is some kid that goes, "Oh yeah, you didn't know he hacks? Yeah, he got caught like changing his grades." That was a big deal. He had to go to like Arizona for like a year. I think that's all you got to do is activate the environment, and then we should just be... Oh, no, we got to CD into that guy. And then... Oh. Stream interface, Meshtastic from config. We did that. Now I'm just being lazy instead of just looking at the directions. Okay, fine. Let's scroll back up here. We activated already. We did the requirements. It should just be that. No module named Meshtastic. Okay. Deactivate. We're still there. Okay, good. Activate. Yeah, we just needed to be there before we started the environment. I should have CD'd beforehand. Oh my god. Digital Rancer with 49 months. What's up, buddy? Thank you very much. Pool on the roof must have a leak. Indeed. I think I've got some kind of a network thing going on. But wait here. Get out of there. Can we? Nope. No. 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 Oh, yeah. So then it may be some local thing. So whoever said that knew you were right. Okay, so before I launch this guy, not ping, the server, let's see. Let me just double check we got no firewall running. And it's certainly not what I wanted. What am I looking for? Should be off. Off, off. Firewall off. No, should be off. Nope. All right. Check the IP address you used. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's it though because I pulled it off my router. I am using a Pi Zero. The ultimate in hacker pies. Yep. No, you got me. You got me. I jumped ahead. Okay, so let's back out of this guy. We'll do nano config. I just want them JS8s. Yeah, no, that's it. That's the one. All right, well, it's running, but unfortunately we don't have JS8 call. But that's how you do it. So you should do that. See, it says connecting to, but I don't get a confirmation message. So I bet you there's something else funky. Because we have it turned on, right? We'll do that one more time, and then we're wrapping the show. Thank you, patrons. Hopefully this got you most of the way there. So we did the allow station here, information grid, etc. Enable TCP IP server, or TCP server API, and accept TCP requests. And it's on port 2442. And this is, you have to set that, and that's the IP of this computer internally on the network. Yeah, you're probably right. What is this? Terminal command prompt. I always forget that. Yeah, it's that. It's the right one. Cowboy Bob with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's a little in the weeds. I like to let JS8 call run in the background, so this is sweet for me because literally I could be at work and I could be like, doot, doot, doot. What's my home BBS setup going? What's the hot news on the JS8 call? Oh, nothing? About right. Sounds good. I mean, this is Raspbian Lite. It's Raspberry Pi OS Lite. It's just the SSH. No, I know, but I turned it off, Don. But it also works with oh no, because Ham Radio Deluxe is on the same computer, local host. Well, we will troubleshoot this in the after chat along with taking your questions live. Did you know that we do an after chat every time I go live? That's right. We're going to end here, and then we're going to hop over on the Discord. Link is in the video description. Join us over there, but you don't have to. You don't have to. Uh-oh. Somebody's doing an HRCC. But you don't have to join us on the Discord. You'll just have to watch us on YouTube, and that's fine. You can leave your questions in chat, but we start always with the people on Discord. We like to hear their voices because their questions usually is more than just you ask a question and we just give you all the information. It's a multi-process thing, so consider joining us on the Discord. I'm going to say a huge thank you to my wonderfully beautiful patrons out there on the interwebs that have been supporting me for years. Thank you so much. You allowed me to purchase a Pi Zero. I'm just kidding. I had that from, I think, pre-COVID. I've been using the same Pi Zero. I have two, but I don't know where the other one is. But, man, I like the Pi Zeros, but you have to just load them light. Don't do desktop. Don't be trying to HDMI out. I've tried to do this, by the way. Don't try to do remote desktop. Don't try to do headless. You can, but the thing will run so badly. just use SSH. Just get good with Linux commands. It's not that hard. This is an incredibly easy setup to do. It's a lot of fun. And then once you have it going, you don't have to tell anybody. It doesn't announce itself. You're the only one that really knows, so you're not really clogging up the network. So it's really just for you and whomever you tell about it, and they can access it. So it's great. It's like there's literally no downside to this. It's a super, super cool little thing to have in the back pocket. So that Pi Zero is just forever set up. I realized I didn't show you one aspect of it, which I should when we're done here. Boy, I got through most of that. And of course, I forgot the one thing that you kind of need. It's already linked in the video description, but you should definitely know. BBS on the download. Jesus. Good Lord, Jody. But yeah, once you get this JS8 thing going, it's going to be awesome. And again, thank you, patrons. Do appreciate you. Next week, got a couple of videos dropping on some new HTs that I got my hands on, and I'm going to be talking about the 705. A lot of people have been asking about the 705. Why? Well, we'll talk about it. How old is the 705 now? When did it come out? The one thing I didn't mention on this Pi Zero is I did install a USB hub on the bottom of this, and this one's really freaking cool. Let me see if I can show you this. It's got these probes. Can you see this? See those little pins that are sticking up right there? Those pins are actually connecting to the USB micros above, and it's passing it through to the USB A's on the bottom, and that's where you get the micro for running it. It actually comes off the hub. That's a cool little setup. I'm gonna 3D print a case for this, and I think they're all just gonna run together. I think we'll also talk about the UConsole. I did go through the process of upgrading it for the hacker gadgets. That little board on the top is actually, that's just like an RF pass-through board. The real meat and potatoes of this is the accessory board that goes inside the Clockwork that gives you GPS, it gives you LoRa, it gives you an SDR, so like an RTL SDR, and then all the antennas connect to the individual boards, and you can run all the applications simultaneously. So, for instance, if I bring up, why am I doing it like this? I'll just show you the dang thing. What am I doing? Like, I understand what I'm doing out here. Anyway, so, boom. So if I just go down here, and I go to accessories, which, by the way, there's a guy named Rex that he's on the UConsole page. Rex is the man. This guy is an absolute UConsole legend. I was about to throw this thing into the river until I got this daughter board attachment, because I was like, what the heck am I doing with this thing? I don't need this. But like, if we go to TAR 1090, it should just work right out of the gate. It's been working, but we'll see. A little slow, but hypothetically, yep, bingo. ADSB, dude. I'm curious. I'm going to plug this into my ADSB antenna that I have on the roof and connect it to this bad boy. I'm going to do that after we end the show. And then we'll talk in the after chat. So come back for sweet, sweet airplane transponders. I'm Josh KI6 and throw it in the river. Dude, I was not having a good time with this thing because they make it like it's an like the okay. What am I doing? Let me end the show. We'll talk. I'll start the show complaining about this, and then I'll explain why I'm not going to throw it in the river. Yeah, right. Well, no, if they have the transponders off, I'm not going to be tracking nothing. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Enjoy the memes. We'll see you on the after chat very quickly because we're going to just roll this sucker. Thanks a lot. Yeah, my one does not run off the pins. It just like slaps in the back. It's sweet.